Okay. The NBA and Kyrie. First off, I wasn't even gonna do this video, but my man Rob wanted me to do this video, so I'm gonna do this for you, my brother. NBA and Kyrie. I'm gonna read the scripture and I'm gonna break it down. This is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. I'm gonna read it again. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Now, what does that mean? If you're not mad at being oppressed for over 400 years, seeing your people incarcerated, seeing your people on drugs, seeing how you treat one another, if you're not mad, you're not wise. You should be furious at how you're being treated here. You should be furious. The second part, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Whose heart is destroyed because of a gift? People like Shaq. Shaq's heart is destroyed because of a gift. What is that gift? His job, his money, his ventures. All of that, the General and Five Guys and Krispy Kreme and, Papa John's. You remember Papa John's? Papa John's came out with like some racial slurs when Colin Kaepernick was protesting, and they had a lot of nationalists that were supporting Papa John's. Black people was like, look, we're not eating Papa John's no more. We're through with Papa John's. And they suffered because of that. Papa John's took a hit. And what did they do? Went out and got Shaq. Here he comes smiling, telling black people like, hey, Papa John's is cool again. We need to support Papa John's. That's Shaq. Shaq doesn't want this uproar that's about to happen. Shaq wants to keep things just like it is. Shaq's heart is destroyed. Charles Barkley's heart been destroyed because of that gift. His gift is his wife. He hated that, George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. He hated black people was speaking out on that. Black people thought that was wrong. Charles Barkley hated that. Those brothers' heart are destroyed. If you watch like inside the NBA sometime, Kenny Smith, he kind of act like he don't really want to get involved a lot of times. And every black mother or grandmother, you heard them say, look, if you ain't got nothing good to say, then don't say nothing at all. That's kind of, that's how Kenny Smith is. He kind of don't really want to get into it. But Shaq, his heart is destroyed. And you know who's getting worse? Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp first came out. I was like, okay, we may have a voice for us. Not no more. Not no more, brother. Shannon Sharp's heart is destroyed. He getting that check. His heart is destroyed, brother. Now, let me speak on Kyrie. Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna read the scripture and break it down. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 3:19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. I'm gonna read it again. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. What does that mean? Kyrie went to Duke, right? You have to be intelligent to get in there. I know he played basketball, but still, you have to be intelligent to get in Duke. One of the most prestigious schools in America. He didn't learn this at Duke. What he's learning now, he didn't learn at Duke. Kyrie is 30 or 31 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and just finding out his nationality. Duke. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. He went to Duke and didn't even know who he was. And I'm going to say this, and I know you're going to hate me for it. I know you're going to hate me for it. This here is more important than your college education. I know you hate it, brother. I know you hate it, sister. I know. It's more important than your college education. Now, the problem with Kyrie is thinking for himself. He's saying, look, I'm going to put this tweet out that's saying, look, black people are Hebrews, from Hebrews to Negroes. And he's finding it out. He's trying to inform black people who we are. We're not Africans. We're not black. We're not colored. We're not Negroes. He's saying we're Hebrews. Baby. You can't do that. You cannot do that, Kyrie. He's trying to think for himself. They don't want that. They don't want that. They can't have no black man thinking for himself. They have to destroy that now. They have to make an example out of him now. And everybody know, if you know anything about your history, listen, when they want to make an example out of your people, they'll take that strong buck and destroy him in front of the rest of the plantation to let you know, look, you do what I tell you to do. They got to make an example out of him. That's their problem with Kyrie. Kyrie, they saying, look, we need to shut him up. We need to shut him up. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. You remember that movie with Caesar? It was a few years ago. Remember, he was getting that medicine and he was getting smarter and smarter. And he went to spread out that medicine to the rest of the apes and the rest of the monkeys and the rest of the gorillas. And it was all making them strong. And they don't need that. Remember, it was a scene in that movie where Caesar was out in the yard and he was like standing there telling the rest of the apes. And they was all standing around listening to Caesar and they looking at him like, what are they doing? Listen, Caesar was making everybody smart. Everybody was coming together. That's what Kyrie trying to do because he know he can only do, so much and they're going to come after him. And let me say this about these brothers, the NBA. You remember it was a few years ago. I don't know if it was 10 years ago. It might not have been that long. But those brothers were going around to gymnasiums and playing like pickup games. They were traveling all over the states playing games. And black people was going to support them like, hey, LeBron James and Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade, they coming here. And black people was going. You know what I'm saying? It was like a big deal. And you know what happened? Those NBA owners was like, no, come back. Come back. We'll give you what you want. Come back to us. They need that money. And they were sticking together. That's how they got to do with Kyrie. You know what I mean? Stick together, man. We need to stick together with that brother and let him know we down with him. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and be strong. You black men, be strong out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Black people, be strong out here, man. Support this brother. And listen, always remember, you guys chose people. We are Hebrews, man. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody fool you into thinking something else. We are Hebrews. We're special people to God. You understand me? All right.